On Tuesday, former First Lady Barbara Bush died at her home in Texas after a decade-long battle with COPD. She was 92 years old. Millions united to mourn the loss regardless of their political views, but there was at least one classless liberal who took to Twitter to mock Barbara Bush after her passing. Thankfully, the liberal, who just so happens to be a writer over at The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, immediately got what she deserved. Jim McGrath, spokesman for the family of former President George H.W. Bush, confirmed Barbara Bush's death on Tuesday evening in a statement, saying, "A former First Lady of the United States of America and relentless proponent of family literacy, Barbara Pierce Bush passed away Tuesday, April 17, 2018 at the age of 92. She is survived by her husband of 73 years, President George H.W. Bush, 5 children and their spouses, 17 grandchildren, 7 great-grandchildren, and her brother, Scott Pierce. She was preceded in death by her second child, Pauline Robinson Robin Bush, and her siblings Martha Rafferty and James R. Pierce," continued McGrath's statement on behalf of the Bush family. McGrath had announced over the weekend that Barbara Bush was in failing health and had decided not to seek additional medical treatment. Following a recent series of hospitalizations and after consulting her family and doctors, Mrs. Bush, now age 92, has decided not to seek additional medical treatment and will instead focus on comfort care, McGrath said in a statement released on Twitter. While McGrath did not explain why Barbara Bush had been hospitalized, she had battled chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, commonly known as COPD, and congestive heart failure within the last year of her life. The former First Lady and champion of literacy had also long been treated for Graves' disease. It will not surprise those who know her that Barbara Bush has been a rock in the face of her failing health, worrying not for herself, thanks to her abiding faith, but for others, McGrath said in his statement over the weekend. She is surrounded by family she adores and appreciates the many kind messages and especially the prayers she is receiving. When the news broke that Barbara Bush had passed away, the nation collectively mourned the death of a beloved First Lady and presidential mother. Well, everyone except for Jen Spira, a writer for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Apparently, Spira never learned that if you have nothing nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all. She also doesn't appear to know that it is in poor form to speak ill of the dead, because she took to Twitter to say, "Rip Barbara Bush, the only woman who was 92 for 30 years. According to IJR, the so-called comedian was immediately savaged by her fellow Twitter users, while Spira's comment is enough to make anyone's blood boil. "We are happy to report that sources close to the Bush family said the former First Lady did not appear to suffer in her last days and instead enjoyed conversation and a glass of bourbon with her family." Barbara Bush was known for her faith, deep dedication to family, and philanthropic efforts to advance universal literacy. She married George H.W. Bush in 1945. They were married for 73 years and have 6 children together. She was one of only 2 First Ladies in history, Abigail Adams being the other, to marry one president and give birth to another. Indeed, Barbara Bush was an inspiring woman of grace and class who will be greatly missed. May she rest in peace.